YouTube and Elder Scrolls community. I hope everybody's enjoying these new Festivus times that we got going on right now with this Pantamriel event and getting all the good loot drops. But as soon as y'all get done farming, I would really suggest you try this out. This has been so fun to me, and I'm excited to share this build with y'all. So let's get right into it. I'm going to show y'all the buffed and unbuffed stats real fast. You can really go with any damage dealing race that you want to, Dark Elf, High Elf, even an Orc, but nothing hits quite like a Khajiit does with that extra crit damage. And that's so huge, especially on a Nightblade coming out of stealth bombing. You've got a guaranteed crit. Why wouldn't you go on to get the extra crit damage? As you can see, even without Battlelord proc, we're still at 5300 weapon and spell damage with 17k pin, 56% crit damage. That's huge. And like, there's another skill once we proc up that makes that even go higher. So I'll show y'all that later on in the video, but I'm gonna go over these skills real fast, so check this out. I'm gonna let the skills roll in the background and talk about the scribing skills that I have on, since they're gonna require a little more explanation. I have Healing Soul, which is the willed soul with the healing ability, Sage's Remedy and Major Resolve. Because sometimes, you know, Nightblades, they don't really have a good source of Major Resolve. You have to cloak or use one of those abilities as such. Your banner, I have the lightning version to increase my direct damage. You'll be like, oh, why don't you have the AoE damage? Well, because we also have concealed weapon and you can gank on this build. I also put sprint reduction onto the banner because as a Vamp stage 4, I find myself running everywhere. If you trying to stay in stealth and put yourself in a good position, just run around for a little bit. If you're being chased down or zerged down, run against a wall. You'll just stay in stealth. They'll run right past you most of the time. Lastly, Major Brutality is on the banner as well. It's got 100% uptime. Contingency is fire damage with 8% damage reduction. And I also have Minor Breach on it to get that extra damage. I'm going to quickly proc this Merciless real fast to show you what the weapon and spell damage looks like. Still without Battlelord, but it's still crazy. We're at 5800 with no Battlelord. That's absurd. Like, the damage that you could really pump out on this is absolutely crazy. Okay, let's move right along into the passives. You're going to want to have all the class ability passives, your Khajiit passives, your dual wield, your resto. You are going to have to farm some things to make this work. Like, you're going to want to have the Mage's Guild done to increase your contingency, and it's also going to give you a magic boost by having a magic ability slotted. It'll lower the cost of it. It's good quality of life passives. You want the Sigic line for those passives as well as channeled acceleration, and you got to have some alliance points to get to your proximity detonation. Otherwise, the bomb ain't a bomb without proximity detonation. The rotation on this build is so simple. You literally hit channeled acceleration, proximity detonation, swap bars, contingency, and Vispot. Get in there. When proxy gets to 1 on your timer, hit your tether and let it rip with the spins. Alright, so let's get into these champion points we got here. I'll show you my blue, red, and green tree. You can change these any way you like except for the blue and red. This is what I find what works the best. Fighting Finesse, Master at Arms, Biting Aura, Backstabber. You're always going to be behind somebody, and it's more crit damage. In the red tree, I really like Sustained by Suffering. You get some good recoveries from there. Pain's Refuge, Bastion, because you're going to be hitting people in shields, and you know who doesn't like to move fast with Celerity. With the green tree, Treasure Hunter. No, I'll have to swap that in a second. But Gifted Rider for movement speed, Steed's Blessing, movement speed, reduction to stealth. I'm going to go ahead and change this real fast. There we go, Rationer. Alright, so this will give you some food buffs. Like, make it last a little longer, you know? Never heard it to last a little longer, you know what I'm saying? And now, for what everyone was probably waiting for, the sets. I'm running 5 light, 2 medium, so no heavy needed. Shattered Fate, Balorg, and Vicious Death. I'm running axes with Oblivion damage, both Nirnholm for extra damage. And I do have a Potentate's Decisive Resto on the back bar. It gives you some damage reduction versus other players. Tri-stat everything, divines everything. Disregard the belt right there. I'm broke and I ain't got a Hakijo. And all infused jewelry with weapon and spell damage. So it doesn't matter stamina or mag, but the food of choice is Bewitched Sugar Skulls and Corrupting Bloody Mara. That's it. Hope you've enjoyed the video and hope you enjoy the build.